There's still a lot of stories that can be brought to the MCU, and we have a few suggestions. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Marvel storylines we want as movies. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at classic Marvel Comics stories that we want to see made into movies, especially now that characters like the Xmen and the Fantastic Four can play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe sandbox. We're not counting stories that have already been loosely adapted, like when X2 borrowed elements from the classic X-Men tale, God Loves, Man Kills. Number 10, The Sinister Six. Before a deal was reached between Sony and Marvel that allowed the Wall Crawler to finally join the MCU, a film was in development that would have introduced a number of Spidey's greatest villains for an all-baddie adventure in Sony's Spider-Man universe. There's no reason that plan can't be carried over to the MCU, and we can't think of a better follow-up to Homecoming than seeing Tom Holland squaring off against a six-pack of classic Spidey villains. While the roster has changed several times over the years, but the first iteration did include the Vulture. Maybe the MCU version includes Scorpion, too?
I've got some boys on the outside who would love to meet him. You know, take a picture, slice his throat, put his head in a dryer.
Number 9, Days of Future Present. While not as well known as its similarly named precursor, this classic story unites the X-Men and the Fantastic Four when an adult version of Franklin Richards, the son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, appears from the dystopian alternate future of Days of Future Past. But Franklin's tampering with the timeline draws the attention of a vicious mutant hunter, and two teams rally together to protect the time-hopping hero. While we can't really recommend this storyline as one that could be used to introduce the two teams into the MCU, it would be a fun adventure to see down the line once both groups have been established. Number 8, House of M. While she's pretty stable on screen, the comics version of Wanda is often overwhelmed by the magnitude of her powers and has gone off the deep end on a few occasions. Usually, this means trouble for anyone around her at the time, and in this instance, Wanda rewrites reality for all the Marvel Universe, creating a timeline where her father Magneto rules the world, and mutants are the dominating species. Our heroes eventually realize what's up thanks to Wolverine's memories of the old world, and band together for a massive battle for the fate of the Marvel Universe. When it comes to Avengers X-Men crossovers, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Number 7, Miracleman, A Dream of Flying. This may be wishful thinking and it would be a pretty hard sell, but it's not impossible. One of the cornerstones of Alan Moore's legendary career, this series sees a freelance reporter discover his long-forgotten alter ego, a superhero straight out of the Silver Age of comics. But his reawakening throws the contrast between the heroes of yesteryear and the world of today into sharp relief, and the returned hero quickly begins struggling to find a place for himself in the modern era. With no connections to the Marvel Universe at large, bringing this book to screen would be a serious gamble. But Marvel's taken chances before, and it's always paid off in the end. Number 6, World War Hulk. When you're Marvel's favorite Jay Giant, you have some good days and some bad days. A good day is when you only smash one or two conveniently empty buildings. A bad day is when you lead an alien armada in a massive invasion of Earth. This epic storyline chronicles one such bad day for the Hulk, and sees the heroes of the Marvel Universe fighting back as their former ally returns from exile on a distant planet with a vengeance. It would be hard to see this one fit into the MCU, but supporting cast members like Korg and Meek were introduced in Thor Ragnarok, so anything's possible. Number 5, Secret Invasion. Not every alien invasion is as big and attention-getting as the one seen in the first Avengers, especially when the Skrulls are involved. A shape-shifting race able to blend almost seamlessly into other cultures, these aliens are set to be introduced as the villains in the upcoming Captain Marvel movie, and their covert invasion of Earth could easily be set up in Carol Danvers' big screen debut. It may still end with a big, show-stopping battle between the invaders and every single hero in the Marvel pantheon, but the storyline's addition of intrigue and paranoia to the classic alien invasion scenario would make for a fun Marvel movie nonetheless. Number 4, Secret Wars. This one is a serious no-brainer. One of the original comics' mega events, this landmark series begins when a powerful cosmic being known as the Beyonder transports a collection of Marvel heroes and aliens to an alien planet to wage the ultimate war between good and evil. Not only is this storyline full of epic battles, it also features the first appearance of Spider-Man's black costume. While a few alterations might need to be made, bringing this story, or the 2015 follow-up, to the big screen would be a Marvel event on a scale we have yet to see, with every team in the publisher's roster fighting an all-out war for their future. Number 3, The Coming of Galactus. Now we know what you're thinking, didn't Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer already do this one? To which we answer, no, it didn't. Because Galactus isn't a cloud. When it comes to Marvel villains, it doesn't get much bigger than the Devourer of Worlds himself, in his true form as a giant dude in purple and blue armor with some seriously ostentatious headwear. Originally introduced in the pages of Fantastic Four, the world-eating baddie is nevertheless a threat that requires the attention of every Marvel hero under the sun. We can't think of many villains who could top Thanos, but this is definitely one of them. Number 2. Annihilation. This epic story begins when Annihilus, ruler of the chaotic alternate dimension known as the Negative Zone, arrives in the Marvel Universe with a massive armada known as the Annihilation Wave, and a serious bone to pick with pretty much every living thing in his path. The crisis brings together a number of Marvel's cosmic heroes, including Nova, the Silver Surfer, Star-Lord, and others. This story relaunched Marvel's cosmic side of things, where the action all takes place away from Earth. While Guardians of the Galaxy already got the ball rolling for the MCU, this storyline would definitely kick the MCU's cosmic adventures into overdrive. Number 1. Avengers vs. X-Men. When it comes to comics, there are certain protocols to follow, and one of the most important of them is that when two heroes, or groups of heroes, meet for the first time, they have to fight. We don't make the rules, we just enforce them. And now that the X-Men and the Avengers can conceivably meet on screen, it's just a matter of time until we get the superhero throwdown to end them all. The comics version of this epic battle has quite a bit of a backstory behind it, which makes bringing it to the big screen tricky. But that doesn't mean we wouldn't be first in line for this epic slugfest.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.